Hello, and thanks for tuning in to Songwriters from Here and Away, the show that features songwriters from Atlantic Canada, across Canada, and around the world. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. My name's Robert Campbell. This week, I have a special concert that we did just a little while ago with a fellow by the name of Chuck Brodsky. Chuck is from the United States, and he is a very well-known songwriter in the folk realm. Chuck has numerous albums, and he has even had some of his songs taken up by the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's quite amazing. And he's been on many movies, all sorts of stuff. This concert was live at the Pink Piano in Lower Sackville, and we had a really nice house for it. I'm not going to talk too much through this show because I'll let Chuck do the talking, and besides, I'm here in Peterborough, Ontario on a bit of a trip, and I didn't bring my microphone, so I'll do the bits and pieces that I can, but you'll mostly hear Chuck, and he's a great storyteller, and this show will definitely be a long podcast other than the radio show. So check out the radio show, listen to the podcast as well, catch even more tunes there. sfhaa.ca. So here's Chuck Brodsky.
Yeah. Thank you. Really appreciate y'all being here. Thank you. Start with a simple song. Just a simple song about a couple of wings, about gravity and its effect on things. With just one wing, you go flapping around, but you'll never be able to get off of the ground. Takes two wings, maybe a prayer, if you do take off, just to stay in the air. Whether you start from here or you start from there, takes two wings to go anywhere. Takes two wings or it won't fly straight, it'll just stay stuck in a figure eight. Points of view we can debate, but it takes two wings or it won't fly straight. With two wings you can look down at the angry mob terrorizing the town, and you might see things like you never could. With two wings, you might even see some good. Takes two wings, a leap of faith, a little respect, and a touch of grace. It takes trust, some luck and skill. Takes two wings and a little goodwill. Just a simple song about a couple of wings, about gravity and heavy things. You'll have your scrapes and you'll get your dings, but if it's gonna fly, takes two wings. If it's gonna fly, takes two wings. It takes trust, some luck and skill. Takes two wings and a little goodwill. Takes two wings and a little goodwill takes two wings and a little. Thanks very much. So, I occasionally get asked to teach at songwriting retreats and workshops and stuff, and there's one in the state of Michigan that I'm very fond of, have been to many, many times, both as an instructor and also just as an attendee, because it's so much fun. And everybody there gets given a songwriting assignment, a unique songwriting assignment on the first day. It'd be about 50 people at the retreat, maybe 5 teachers. And we all have to do it, the teachers too. And so what happens is the director of the retreat will call somebody's name, and they'll stand up in front of everybody on Friday afternoon, and he'll read out loud their assignment, their song assignment. It's like a little short story condensed into a paragraph. And everybody hears it. Then he'll hand them the paper that it was written on. He'll call somebody else. They'll stand up, and he'll read another assignment. And he creates these brilliant little scenarios. And so what you do is you step into the middle of it, and you write whatever comes to mind. And you have 2 days to write that song. And on Sunday, right before the retreat ends, everybody gets together in that big room again, and whenever you get the nerve up to sing your song, you get it in line. And so one year I was given the assignment to write a song swearing off of the manic pixie dream girl. Can kind of conjure up an image in your minds, right? Think like Goldie Hawn in the late 1960s, some of the early Barbra Streisand roles, maybe Zooey Deschanel today, that hippie, pixie, free spirit kind of gal. So I was to write a song swearing off of that type of woman, but the only problem is in real life, that's the type of woman I'm most attracted to. And so I had to write this song using my inner wink.
Used to fall for girls who smoked and drank and told off color jokes, who had that certain kind of look. Just a nose ring was all it took. The ones that had that certain spunk, kind of girlish and kind of punk. The girls you make excuses for as you lead them out the door. I used to like them fancy free, the way they would pretend to be. They wore all black, they had long hair, they acted like they didn't care. Full of beans, a great big blur. They used to fall for girls like her. They couldn't possibly all be true. 500 words when 10 would do.
It's my favorite line I've ever written.
I used to fall for girls like that, who worked the mic, played the strat, whose stomachs were completely flat. They would complain that they were fat. The kind of girls I would pursue, I made them up, they became true. I think I married one or two. They made me tea and they wrote haiku. I was always drawn to the manic kind, who would say whatever was on their minds. Girls like that sunk all my ships, carelessly with their loose lips. And yet for one enchanted kiss, I'd betray myself for girls like this. A wild-eyed star tattoo, little crazy were a few. Girls like those, they have their charms, red flags and loud alarms. I loved it when they were in my arms, and I swear my love was true. Well, now it takes a little more to turn me on than it did before. Certain things I can't ignore, certain things I do. Used to fall for girls who dance in tie-dye shirts and drawstring pants, who bang on drums and don't eat meat, and walk around in their bare feet. Girls like that, it wouldn't last not even 1/2 minute past the moment that the clock struck 12. They'd leave me dancing with myself. Opposites at times attract, like chemicals they can react. The girls who once appealed to me now don't seem so real to me. Girls like those, they have their charms, red flags and loud alarms. I loved it when they were in my arms, and I swear my love was true. Well, now it takes a little more to turn me on than it did before. Certain things I can't ignore, and certain things I do. Very much. Well, my favorite baseball player of all time was a guy named Richie Allen, known later on as Dick Allen. And he played for the Philadelphia Phillies, the team that I grew up watching. And he was the first black superstar that the Phillies ever had. They were the last team to integrate in the National League 10 years after Jackie Robinson crossed baseball's color line. That's how long it took in Philadelphia. And at that time, black players were just expected to keep their mouths shut and their heads down and play baseball, and that's not really real life, is it? You know. So he was a little bit outspoken for his time, and it got him in trouble with the press. And the fans would start to boo him every time he came up to bat because of the bad press that he was getting. And this was a guy that was a perennial all-star and led the league in home runs a couple of times. And anyway, my dad always taught me to root for the home team. I didn't understand what was going on when half the stadium was booing this guy. Now, he would wait patiently until the Phillies were back out in the field on defense. He wouldn't make any reactions while he was at bat getting booed. But when the Phillies were out in the field on defense, he was playing first base. And he would stand there between pitches and write words in the dirt with his shoe. Great big letters, like 6-foot-tall letters. He'd spell out boo right back at the fans, among other things. And anyway, he was one of the greatest hitters of all time. The modern statistics certainly back that up. And he should have been elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame many, many, many years ago, but unfortunately, it didn't happen while he was still alive. Fortunately, though, it happened last summer. And the Philadelphia Phillies reached out to me and invited me to come to Cooperstown, New York, and sing this song at the team's private party, which was an amazing experience. I was singing this song to the Dick Allen's family, sitting in front of me, and to Hall of Famers like Ferguson Jenkins and Reggie Jackson and all sorts of former Philadelphia Philly players that I grew up watching. So it was one of the thrills of my lifetime to get to do this. The song's called Letters in the Dirt, which I wrote for my dad.
Me and you, we never booed Richie Allen. I never understood why people did.
hit a homer every time he stepped up to the plate. That's what I remember as a kid. Richie in the field out there by first base, the target of some mighty foul words. With his shoes he'd scrawl between the pitches, boo in great big letters in the dirt. Well, Philly fans, they've been known to get nasty. When Joe must go, they run him out of town. I saw Santa get hit by a snowball, then get hit again when he was down. Well, me and you, we never booed Richie Allen, even if he did sometimes strike out. Was too young to read the papers, to know what all that booing was about. Well, that big collapse of '64, it was ugly. They blew a lead of 6 in 1/2 games with 12 to play, and some might say their fans were justifiably angry. World Series tickets printed up in vain. I have 2 of them. Printed up in vain. Philly fans, they've been known to get nasty. When Joe must go, they run him out of town. I saw Santa get hit by a snowball, then get hit again when he was down. I had the honor and the privilege of meeting Mr. Dick Allen in person about 25 years ago. I'd been invited by the Baseball Hall of Fame to come and do a concert there of my baseball songs. And while I was there, I was tipped off to the fact that Dick Allen happened to be in Cooperstown that weekend. If you like irony, you'll appreciate the fact that he was working for the Phillies in public relations at the time. So there was some kind of an event going on, and I was told most likely he'd be staying at the Otesaga Hotel, this grand old 5-star hotel that all the baseball dignitaries would stay at. And it was suggested to me that maybe I'd take a drive over to the Otesaga Hotel and see if I could leave a copy of the CD with the song on it at the front desk, and maybe they'd be nice enough to pass it on to him. So I thought, why not? I drove over there and I walked in the lobby door, and to my utter amazement and thrill, there was Dick Allen in the lobby in the middle of a conversation with somebody else. So I just parked myself off in the corner. I waited for them to finish, and when they did, I walked over and introduced myself and told them how I'd grown up and watching him play in Philadelphia and how he was my very favorite player of all time. And I pulled the CD out of my coat pocket and I handed it to him. He took the CD in both of his hands and he looked down at it and up at me, down at it and up at me, kind of sizing me up, you know. I'm sure I'd have done the same had somebody walked up to me out of the blue like that and said, "Hey man, I wrote a song about you, here." But it dawned on me in that moment that there was a photograph inside the booklet that would be kind of fun to show him in person. A photograph of the boo in the dirt that we had composed. So I asked for the CD back and I took the shrink wrap off and showed him this photo. I was hoping I'd get a little reaction. I was not prepared for the tear that I saw roll down his cheek. My hero. Well, this was before the days of the $1 million contracts.
And before the days of the artificial grass, he stood a bit outside the lines, which paid him fair game for those times. 'Cause Richie Allen, he never kissed a white man's ass. Me and you, we never booed Richie Allen. Now we'd pound our mitts and we'd yell, we want a hit. How could they call a guy a bum after he just hit a home run? That didn't make any sense to a kid. Well, I've since found out all these years later. Now I know a lot more than I did. And if back then you knew, Daddy, why all those other people booed. Thanks for letting me have my heroes as a kid.
Thank you.
You're listening to a live concert on Songwriters from Here and Away featuring Mr. Chuck Brodsky. Please do tell your friends, do the follow, do the like, do the shares. We would love to have more folks on board. And the address to go to, www.sfhaa.ca. And now back to Chuck Brodsky.
What's that smell? I like it. Whatever it is, it smells like an unwashed brain.
I think I smell an unwashed brain. A dirty, stinking, unwashed brain. Reason and logic are swirling down the drain, but I think I smell an unwashed brain. One that hasn't fallen into line. One that's still attached to a spine. One you can't just pick up and wind. One that's not afraid to speak its mind. One that looks at both sides of the coin, and all around the edges where they join. One that questions everything it reads, and can separate the talking from the deeds. I think I smell an unwashed brain. A dirty, stinking, unwashed brain. Reason and logic are swirling down the drain, but I think I smell an unwashed brain. Whose mind isn't already made up, who'd listen and not always interrupt. One that would be curious to know all there is and what makes it so. One that says no thank you to the soap, and travels with its trusty microscope, looking for anything that might be real, not afraid of what it might reveal. I think I smell an unwashed brain. Your dirty, stinking, unwashed brain. Reason and logic are swirling down the drain, but I think I smell an unwashed brain. One that isn't stuck inside a dream. One that wouldn't cheerlead for the team. One that can remain somewhat aloof. One that wouldn't judge without some proof. One that doesn't just play back the tape. One that's managed so far to escape without being reprogrammed and retooled. One that isn't easily fooled. I think I smell an unwashed brain. Your dirty, stinking, unwashed brain. Reason and logic are swirling down the drain, but I think I smell an unwashed brain. I think I smell an unwashed brain. Your dirty, stinking, unwashed brain.
Smells good in here. So here's how to change somebody's mind who has polar opposite politics that you have.
After 3 or 4 tries, I poked out his eyes. That's how I got him to see. To get him to hear, I screamed in his ear, gave him the 3rd degree. I sharply berated him, told him I hated him, wasn't very kind. I shouted and cussed until I won his trust. That's how I changed his mind. I shunned him, ignored him, I wouldn't look toward him, I only would give him my back. I accused him of lies that would not compromise. I erased him after the fact. I was abrupt, I would often interrupt. We were volatile when combined. And in stating my case, I blew up in his face. Well, that's how I changed his mind. That's how I changed his mind. That's how I changed his mind. I blamed him, shamed him, insulted and inflamed him. That's how I changed his mind. Now this man was an ass. I was gonna let him pass, let him take a wide berth of me. But I was right and he was wrong, so like I was telling him all along, trying to just get him to see. He's a this and I'm a that, so we couldn't have a chat of the friendly and civilized kind. Round after round, I just ground him down. Well, that's how I changed his mind. I stomped on his toes and I punched him in the nose. I was using irony. So sure of the truth, I knocked out his tooth and I kicked him twice in the knee. I won over his heart with a poisonous dart, and you should have seen me unwind, being overly cruel and with ridicule. That's how I changed his mind. That's how I changed his mind. That's how I changed his mind. I blamed him, shamed him, insulted and inflamed him. That's how I changed his mind.
You can see this working, right?
So I called him a fool, challenged him to a duel, threw my white glove in his face. 20 paces and I shot and I must have hit the spot. Anyway, that's how I pleaded my case. Well, I won in the end, after making him bend, and after all the papers were signed. In the end, I won, that's how it was done. That's how I changed his mind. That's how I changed his mind. That's how I changed his mind. I blamed him, shamed him, insulted and inflamed him. That's how I changed his mind. Yes, I blamed him, shamed him, I might have even maimed him. That's how I changed his mind. That's how I changed his mind. That's how I changed his mind. That's how I changed his mind.
So March 2020, I was finishing up a little tour down in Florida, and I managed to get all of my shows in, and then I made the 650-mile drive back to Asheville, North Carolina. I started up my long, steep, windy driveway, and I realized I wouldn't be coming back down for a long, long time. Most people were saying it was going to be a year, right? But I knew with music it was going to be more like 2 years before people would want to sit close to one another. So I had a lot to think about. You know, how is it going to survive this? And back then, nobody knew anything about COVID. There was just a lot of panic, right? And I mean, I didn't know if I'd ever see my family again, and I didn't know if I'd ever see my friends again. I didn't know if I was going to survive. I didn't know if I'd have a career left. Who knew? But, you know, there was a lot to think about. And I decided I was going to write a song as if this could possibly be the very last song I might ever write. And what would I want to say? So it's called If This Is It.
Well, if this is it, the blink of an eye, and there's no time to say goodbye, I'll just leave a little note that you might read the words I wrote. If this is it, 'cause you just don't know, you have no say when it's your time to go. I wish you joy, I wish you peace. If for one of us all should cease, this too perhaps will someday pass, but of this should be our parting glass. May it go down smooth, may it leave you warm, till we meet again in another form. And if the road has run out, I hope somewhere a seed will sprout that I might have dropped and never knew. Maybe I planted it someplace for you. Well, if this is it, and my work is done, and I don't finish what I've begun, I'll let them go, just like balloons, the unsung words and the unplayed tunes. My aim was true, every verse I wrote, every chord I struck, every single note, and every mile I drove was to come see you. There's no such thing as just passing through. So if this is it, my last song, it's meant to be sung just before the dawn, when you still see stars and it's getting light, and you're ready to call it pretty good night. You still see stars, it's getting light, you're ready to call it pretty good night.
Thanks a lot. So do one more song. We'll have a nice intermission. Give everybody a chance to go get a drink or something. I also have an email list over there, and it's my only way of letting you know when I have a new recording out, which I am actually working on, or when I'm coming through the area, and I'd love to play for you again sometime. So y'all know what's going on in my country. I'm not going to say anything about it other than what I say in song. So this is one of my new ones.
Winner take all, loser gets none. That's the deal, says the guy who won. Maybe just for spite, maybe just for fun. Might have been a little blackmail, might have been a gun. Winner take all, the entire crop. Every little morsel, the very last drop. Take from the bottom, give to the top. Everything must go at the mom and pop. All for one, one for all. The most beautiful graffiti I ever saw. Where there never used to be a wall. All for one, one for all. All for one, one for all. Winner take all, none for the rest. They shout from the pews in the Sunday best. Praying for the sick, praying on the poor, and damn them all if they ask for more. Winner take all that they can afford. This new Messiah strikes a chord. He worships money, praises the sword. He bullies everyone, even the Lord. All for one, one for all. The most beautiful graffiti I ever saw. Where there never used to be a wall. All for one, one for all. All for one, one for all. Winner take all, let the losers weep. Let them cry themselves to sleep. The price of freedom has gotten steep. Things are expensive, life is cheap. Winner take all, leave no crumbs. That's the song that the heartless hums. It's nothing but selfish, it's nothing but mean, and it makes no difference which way you lean. All for one for all. The most beautiful graffiti I ever saw. Where there never used to be a wall. All for one, one for all. Sing it with me. All for one for all. The most beautiful graffiti I ever saw. Where there never used to be a wall. All for one for all. All for one for all. All for one for all.
Well, how are you liking it so far? Have you bought into Chuck's great way of storytelling and singing his songs? I hope you like it. Again, my name's Robert Campbell, and we appreciate you very much for tuning in to the Chuck Brodsky concert. And don't forget, this will be a longer podcast with more songs, more chat, and just a lot more Chuck. So tune in to www.sfhaa.ca. We'd love to have you there. Here we go.
So y'all know that Jackie Robinson was the first black man to cross baseball's color line. Most people think that happened in 1947 with the Brooklyn Dodgers, but it actually happened the season before with the farm club of the Dodgers, the Montreal Royals. And in Jackie's very first game with Montreal, he went 4 for 5. And one of his hits was a home run, and there were 2 runners on base when he hit that home run. And when they crossed home plate, they did not stop like they would do today. They did not stop and wait for him to cross home plate. They kept running straight to the dugout. But the on-deck batter was a man by the name of George Shuba, George Shotgun Shuba. And George Shuba stepped up to home plate and waited for Jackie. And as Jackie rounded third base and headed for home plate, George Shuba stuck his hand out. And when Jackie stepped on home plate, they shook hands with big smiles on their faces. And this was the first time in modern baseball history that a black hand and a white hand ever touched on a baseball diamond. And back in that era, photographers were allowed to be on the field in foul territory. And there was a photographer standing maybe 20 feet away that snapped an incredible photograph of this moment, which I saw the day that George Shuba passed away, and the photo made the rounds on Facebook. And if you were to Google George Shuba and Jackie Robinson, which I'm sure you'll do after the show, it will probably be the first thing to pop up. And it's an incredibly powerful photo, and it made me want to write this song. Well, after I recorded it, and I had the CDs in hand, I did what I really love to do anytime I write a song about a real person. I try to find a living family member of that person, and I managed to find his son so that I can pass the song on to them and let them know that they were remembered. And I found Mike Shuba, George's son, on Facebook, and we struck up a dialogue and ultimately became friends and stayed in touch for a few years until right in the middle of the pandemic, he told me that the city of Youngstown, Ohio, which is where the Shuba family lived, the city was, they were commissioning a famous sculptor to create a statue of the handshake. And the city donated some land, and a beautiful stone amphitheater was built. It's all lit up at night, and I was invited to sing this song at the unveiling of the sculpture. And so it's called The Handshake.
Both the ump and the catcher had the hands on their hips. It was only a handshake, was a coming to grips. Sun was casting long shadows as he touched every base. And as he rounded the third one, the sun lit up his face. It was only a handshake, but maybe not quite. It was captured on camera in black and white. The two of them smiling as he touches the plate, as he crosses a line when he knows that he's safe. It's only a handshake on opening day. No one knew what would happen if the fella could play. It was only a handshake, but it was the first. And of course there were others who stood up and cursed. It
was only a handshake on a minor league field. And it wasn't till later it became a big deal. It's just something that happened. It was nothing he planned. The guy hit a homer, so he stuck out his hand. It was only a handshake, a bond between men, teammate to teammate. That's all it was then. He stood there to greet him. He could have waited on deck. It was only a handshake, but he showed him respect. It was only a handshake. It was only a handshake. It was only a handshake. It was only a handshake.
I'm going to stay with baseball for another song here. This is a true story about a guy by the name of Brian Mazzone, who was a career minor league pitcher. Brian spent 12 years knocking around the minor leagues, pitched in such places as Reading, Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Fresno, California, Adelanto, California, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Obregon, Mexico, Ottawa, Ontario, even pitched in Korea. And at the age of 32, he was in the Philadelphia Phillies minor league system, playing for their top farm club. And one of the major league pitchers had a sore arm and had to miss their scheduled start. And so they called Brian Mazzone up for what's called a cup of coffee. Maybe you have heard that term, a cup of coffee. It's when a minor league player gets called up to the majors as a fill-in. They're not there to stay. They haven't made the team, but they're needed to fill in for a short amount of time. And that's called getting a cup of coffee because they're getting a taste of the big league life, the big league meal money, you know, the first-class hotels and the first-class travel and all that. And so this is what happened with Brian when he got that cup of coffee.
There was orange on the radar. In some places it was red. Saw it on the TV. Well, he was still in bed. Room service brought him breakfast, some good coffee as well. He could get used to staying at a major league hotel. Well, it was raining hard that morning. The whole day it would pour. He would just stare out the window from the 27th floor. The night before at supper, some joint in Buffalo, skipper called to tell him he was going to the show. Text messages and emails were blowing up his phone from all his friends and family, from everyone he'd ever known. His folks flew in from Boston
and his wife just made her flight. They all got there the next day to see him pitch that night. And so he put his big league pants on, and he tied his big league shoes, while a couple of big leaguers were giving interviews. His name was in the lineup. He was mentioned on the news. He'd knocked around a dozen years for this. He'd even pitched in Veracruz. So he walked out through that tunnel to stand on a big league mound. His tears mixed with the raindrops, and he felt like he might drown. He squeezed the big league baseball, ran his fingers along the seams. The rain was cruel and stung him as it washed away his dreams. Well, it was flooded in the dugout. It was a lonely place to sit. Thought of going to Korea, or maybe it was time to quit. And now next time they need a pitcher, they'll probably call up some kid. And every time thereafter, that's exactly what they did. And now you can say that's baseball, especially if you never played. For the guy who worked his ass off and whose dues were overpaid, this was all he'd ever wanted ever since the 7th grade. Congratulations were in order, but condolences were paid. Now that tarp was never lifted, and that storm never let up. It's like he got his cup of coffee without the coffee cup. They let him keep his jersey. Oh, they boxed it soaking wet. And that was as close to the majors as he would ever get. No, that tarp was never lifted, and that storm never let up. It's like he got his cup of coffee without the coffee cup.
You guys want to help me on one? This song has a creepy little sing-along part. I'm not going to teach it to you because it'll be really evident the first time I do it. How many of you have read Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart? Well, at the songwriting retreat I was telling you that where we get these song assignments, I was given the assignment once of taking The Telltale Heart and turning it into a song. Fortunately, it's a short story, because I had never read it. And I was able to Google it and read it online and take a few notes. And anyway, I'm gonna I'm going to count on you to help me with this, and I'm going to hold a threat over your heads. If you don't help me, I'm going to sing Kumbaya. You do not want me singing Kumbaya.
I'll tell you why. Didn't I like his vulture's eye, stalking me like I was prey? I always had to look away. I did not kill him for his gold, 'cause I would make my blood run cold. It wasn't him that had to die. No, it had to be that vulture's eye. The vulture's eye would never blink. To torment me, sometimes it winked. I felt it follow me around. I faced it once, it stared me down. I'm not mad, how could I be? I planned it all so perfectly. This was the work of a brilliant mind. That vulture's eye I made go blind. Staked him out for 7 nights with a sliver from my lantern light. The vulture's eye was always closed. Well, I waited till it was exposed. I killed the eye, cut off its head, its arms and legs when it was dead. Stuffed it underneath the floor. Now it can't look at me anymore. I'm not mad, it's just the sound of a suffocated heart that pounds. Well, don't you hear it pounding too? And isn't it too loud for you? I'm not mad, how could I be? I planned it all so perfectly. This was the work of a brilliant mind. That vulture's eye I made go blind. Well, I loved the guy who had to die. Yes, I really, truly loved the guy. Never had a harsh word, never told a lie. But I could not stand that vulture's eye. The vulture's eye was a beady little eye. It was always dry, would never cry. Kinda missed that poor old guy, but it had to die, and I told you why. I'm not mad, how could I be? I planned it all so perfectly. Now you ask if I'm the crazy one. Well, didn't I do what you would have done? Yeah, didn't I do what you would have done? Kumbaya.
This next song has a great story behind it. It's about a man named Adolfo Kaminsky, who was known as the Paris Forger. Maybe you have heard of the Paris Forger. During World War II, he was just a very young man in his late teens, and he was married with a little baby daughter. And he was working in the garment industry, where he developed a scientific knowledge of inks and dyes and fabrics and what it took to cause certain inks and dyes to set in various types of fabrics, but also how to unset them. And the partisans who were fighting the Nazis found out about his talents, and they recruited him to become a forger of documents. And they rented him another apartment a few blocks from where he actually lived, and they set him up with a workshop, and he would go there in the evenings. He could not tell anybody, including his wife, where he was going, what he was doing. He went there under the pretense of developing photographs. But he would meet with one single handler, and that was the only person who knew about this man or who had any contact with this man. And he would be given his orders. And sometimes they would say, we need 200 passports by tomorrow morning. Well, Adolfo could forge 30 passports in an hour. And he realized that for every hour of sleep he might get, it would cost 30 people their lives. So he didn't sleep. He would work through the night. If he passed out, whenever he came to again, he'd get right back at it. And he never let them down. And he was responsible for tens of thousands of people during World War II escaping the Nazis. And at the end of World War II, he continued forging documents to help people escape repressive regimes all over the world through various wars, including the Vietnam War. And at the age of 85, he decided he had to tell somebody. So he told his daughter, Sarah Kaminsky, and Sarah wrote a book called A Forger's Life. And I found out about this book, and I read it. I highly recommend it. And it was the basis for this song.
Up on the third floor, I used to rent a room. Got no fresh air. You could get dizzy from the fumes. I'd spend the nights in there. Maybe I'd sleep a few winks. Clear a place somewhere between the papers and the inks. I had a printing press. It was my Tommy gun. And I dreamed I'd ambush them whenever it would run. I couldn't shoot a man. This was what I could do. And with my documents, the guards would have waved them through. I didn't know them. I never met them. How could I turn away and just forget them? Still can picture some of their faces. They were desperate to leave to safer places. I was an artisan, a counterfeiter. I had a steady hand that didn't get the jitters. I'd meet my handler in busy cafes. I would trade envelopes, then go our separate ways. No time for small talk, too many lives at stake. Passports to reproduce, all night I'd be awake. I worked in secrecy, nobody knew of this. Not even my daughter or my wife that
was just too much risk. They said I worked too much. I couldn't tell them why. Now I have to tell someone before I die. I didn't know them, I never met them, but how could I turn away and just forget them? I still can picture some of their faces. They were desperate to leave for safer places. They were desperate to leave for safer places. They were desperate to leave.
Well, thank you. Well, some of you may have been at Stanfest the year that the story behind this next song takes place. I was looking out, I was doing my set, and I looked out into the audience, and there was a man blowing kisses at me. Stage lights were very bright in my eyes. I couldn't really see anybody's features, but I could see the silhouette of somebody blowing kisses at me, and I just thought, huh. But then it dawned on me that I could shield my eyes from those bright lights, and when I did that, I could see his features, and I could tell that he had some kind of a developmental disability. And so I started to blow kisses back to him between songs when my hands were free. Were any of you there for that? Yeah, Jimmy, you were there. Yeah. So this went on. He was just, dancing around and just so happy. And it was an amazing thing to be singing to him and having this going on. And I knew while I was singing that song that I was going to need to write this next song. And so I did as soon as I got home from the festival. And I sang it into a cassette recorder at home at the time. Still had a couple of blank cassettes around, and I mailed it off to Troy and Jenny, who were the couple that were running the festival. And, I didn't know if this fellow was from Canso or if he was from away, and somebody brought him. But I wanted them to hear the song because they were actually sitting in the front row while this was happening. And it turned out not only did Arthur Christie live in Canso, but he was probably the most beloved person in the entire community. Everybody knew him, everybody loved him. So the festival brought me back the very next year so that I could sing this song from the stage. And they didn't tell me that they had secretly arranged with the manor, the home that Arthur lived in, to have him brought back to the festival. And they kept him hidden backstage. And when I got around to singing this song, I got a couple verses into it, and next thing you know, everybody's kind of getting frantic in the audience, and they're all looking off to my left, and I turned my head, and they had brought Arthur out onto the stage to blow kisses at the audience while I sang the song. Well, I had a very long guitar cable at the time, about 20 feet long, and I kept the guitar part going, and I wandered over to him, and we had a little greeting and a headbutt, and came back to the mic and finished the song. And then it turns out that CTV had a crew there, and they filmed this, and they showed it, I think, Monday morning here during the breakfast news program. And somebody was nice enough to record it and send it to me, and I had it up on YouTube for many years, but somehow it got taken down. I don't know who took it down, but anyway, it was a real treasure, and the memories are a real treasure. Last time I was at Stanfest, somebody drove me over to Arthur's gravesite, and I sang this song to him there. I'm hoping I'll get a chance to do it this coming weekend, but this is for Arthur Christie, and it's called The Man Who Blew Kisses.
Who blew kisses stood out in the crowd. He wasn't so tall, and he wasn't loud. I could not tell you how he was dressed, but of everyone there, I remember him best. who blew kisses was simple and free. Never considered how people might see him. Walked on the water, swam through the air, no trepidation and without a care. Man who blew kisses, he lived in a home. He isn't allowed to go out on his own, but wherever they take him, he's happy to go. He loves everybody and he lets them all know. The man who blew kisses, he blew them at me. Tickled my heart and it buckled my knee. Made my voice crack and it righted all wrongs. Blew kisses back at the end of the songs. Man who blew kisses in front of the stage. No, nothing of jealousy and nothing of rage. Nothing of prejudice and nothing of shame. He had never been broken, he had never been tamed. Man who blew kisses, he misses some things, but he was catching my drift, he had air in his wings. His head was a-rockin', he was clapping his hands, he was stomping his feet and he was doing a dance. A man who blew kisses eats tulips for lunch. Probably rainbows, but that's just a hunch. Sunshine and pixie dust mixed in his punch. And daisies for breakfast he picks by the buns. So the man who blew kisses, he'll blow them at you. He blows them at anyone, no matter who. So I thought to myself, in the middle of all this, that the song I was singing, it was but a kiss.
Thank you very much. Here's another song that was assigned to me at the songwriter retreat. The premise of this one was that I was supposed to be at some kind of a fancy dinner ball, and I get tapped on the shoulder by a woman who asked me if I would care to dance, and I don't dance. Not ever, period. I've got 3 left feet. Ain't gonna happen, don't even imagine it. It is a scientific and mathematical impossibility which can in fact be proven. There you go. Yeah, and it's all because of a time when I was a kid and I was severely traumatized on a dance floor. It was horrible. Yes, it was horrible. You're looking at me like you want to know what happened. I'm not telling. All right, I'll tell you. You see, when I was in the 6th grade at Kinwood Elementary School, the boys and the girls, we weren't even yet talking to one another, but we were required to come to school on Friday nights for 16 weeks of dance lessons. We had a woman who was 181 years old. They're teaching us the latest, greatest, hippest dance steps from her own childhood. And so there we were in the gymnasium with all the boys against that wall and all the girls way across the gym against that wall. And they were spinning records and there wasn't anybody out on the dance floor dancing. And they realized they had a problem. So when we showed up for the 2nd week, they had a solution. All the girls were told when they arrived to take their left shoe off and throw it in the center of the gym. And this great big pile of left shoes formed. And then just before the first dance, all the boys were told, go pick a shoe. And whoever owned that shoe was going to be your dance partner for the entire evening. You see where the trauma came into play?
There was one certain girl
I was hoping to meet. Would have asked her to dance, but for my 2 left feet, she wasn't sitting with anyone else. I was just sitting there all by myself. I said, I didn't dance, I have 2 left feet, to this other girl standing over me in my seat. Besides, it really wasn't my kind of beat, and this wasn't the girl I was hoping to meet. I wasn't attracted, not on first glance. She wouldn't go away, and I didn't want to dance. She lifted me up to my 2 left feet. My eyes went for the girl I was hoping to meet. Well, I was thinking I should make a break for the door. She pulled me out there onto the dance floor. The band started in on an old-fashioned waltz. She didn't lead, and so I did by default. It was awkward enough, those very first steps. Stepped on her right toes and then on her left. Evading her eyes, I tried to be discreet, keeping tabs on the girl I was hoping to meet. Well, her hand on my waist made me relax. She moved it up to the small of my back. Touching a nerve, I shot her a glance. She said, I thought you told me that you couldn't dance. She pointed down at my right foot, gone to all the right places, wherever I put it. She followed me when I spun her around, and when I dipped her all the way down, the way her hair fell back and hung to the floor, the way we locked eyes then and forevermore. The thing about beauty, and I don't know why, but sometimes you don't see it till it pokes you in the eye. The one song ended and another began. We exchanged names and applauded the band. I guess I never did let go of her hand. For the next couple hours, we danced and we danced, and now we go out dancing every Saturday night. She dresses up, she's quite a sight. This was the girl I didn't want to meet, but that was the guy with the 2 left feet.
Thank you. So I'll do one more song that was assigned to me. Another year at the retreat. The premise behind this was that I was supposed to write a song about playing ping pong with my dad. And when that day finally came, that I was able to beat him. And we actually did have a table in the cellar, and Dad and I would play every night. We also had table hockey, which I know you guys know what that is. I have to explain that in the States. This is called The Point.
When I was a little fella, ping pong table in the cellar. Every night just after dinner, he used to let me be the winner. The ones that could get over the net, he'd pretend like he could not get. Deliberately he hit them wide, but only barely missed the sides. And everything he'd hit real soft, he could turn it on and off. But just to show me that he could, he'd almost hit one through the wood. My dad, he was a champion. Me, I was his only son. He taught me everything he knew, and I've shown him a thing or two. He played the ball with lots of spin, taught me how to serve like him. I was 11, maybe 10, starting to play a little better then. Then I started talking trash. Finally he met his match. 16, maybe 17, taut as the net that was between us.
He slammed one, and I slam one, and he slam one, and I'd slam one, and he'd slam another, I'd slam another, back and forth attacking each other. It was spin and counterspin. Neither could let the other win. Things would never be the same when I learned to beat him at his game. But now we play like gentlemen, volley back and forth again. Neither of us keeping score. We don't need to anymore. Now I don't want to slam at all. Don't want him to have to chase the ball. Let's just keep this thing in play. That's the whole point anyway.
Well, thank you all very much for being here tonight with me. I really appreciate you coming. Thank you, Robert, for organizing the show, and thanks to the Pink Piano for being here and for having us as well. Hope to see you all again sometime down the road. If you'd like to be on the email list, I won't be emailing you like every 3 days. Don't worry. I don't have that much to say. You know, every couple months maybe. And you know about the Ireland tours and the Scotland tours, so maybe you'll join me sometime. I'm going to finish off with the oldest song of mine that I still sing. I wrote this back in 1981, so this song is now 45 years old. I wrote it the day that I arrived in San Francisco after hitchhiking from Philadelphia. It was about 3,000 miles. It took me 6 days, and I've been singing it ever since. It's been covered by a lot of different people through the years. It's an amazing example of how a song sometimes can take on a life of its own. Most of the people who have recorded it you wouldn't be familiar with, but you might know who Sarah Hickman is in Texas. Kathy Mattea recorded it in a film once, and the coolest cover of all was done by the African Children's Choir of Uganda. If you're not familiar with them, Google them. It's an amazing thing, and they tour the world. So if you know the chorus and you want to join me, you're welcome to. I've enjoyed playing here. Sorry for the couple of brain farts. It's a very tired brain right now, but I don't think it's old age. I'm not that old yet. Although it could be. We'll see.
I see you later, 'cause it's time for me to go. That's my ride that just pulled over, and it sure was good to know you. So go answer your calling, go and fill somebody's cup. Never see an angel falling, won't you stop and help them up? We are each other's angels, and we meet when it is time. We keep each other going, we show each other signs. Sometimes you'll stumble, sometimes you'll just lie down. Sometimes you'll get lonely with all these people around. You might shiver when the wind blows, and you might get blown away. You might lose a little color, you might lose a little faith. each other's angels, and we meet when it is time. Keep each other going, we show each other signs. So thank you for the water. Thought I was gonna die out here in the desert, but you quenched my thirst. Let's break a little bread together. Got a little mana. It was a gift from someone who was passing by and offered me a lift. We are each other's angels, and we meet when it is time. Keep each other going, show each other signs.
Thank you, everyone.